What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Guys of Texas. Texas advances in the college football playoffs to the second round, going to the Peach Bowl, taking on Arizona State. Also, the Big 12 championship run for us. We'll have back-to-back Big 12 championships if we win next week. Texas wins 38-24 against Clemson. Klubnik with 336 passing yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception. Quinn with 202 passing yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Clemson, Randall led rushing for 44 yards. They had a total of 76 yards rushing. Texas, 2 running backs over 100 yards. Blue with 146, Wisner with 110. Blue's average was 10.4, Wisner's average was 7.3. Both of them had 2 touchdowns. Clemson's leading receiver was TJ Moore, 116 yards. Leading receiver for Texas was, of course, Gunnar Helm with 77 yards on 6 receptions, 1 TD. Fumble wise, Bolden fumbled once, Klubnik fumbled once. None of those were lost. Defensively, 3 sacks for Texas, 2 sacks for Clemson. Overall, this was turned into a ground and pound game. What did you guys get from your takeaways from the game?
Blue is a superstar as long as he can keep the ball in his hands, man.
All of a sudden,
Dude. I mean, we've always seen he's just so speedy and can cut
Yeah.
so quick, but he didn't have any problems yesterday. And I just rewatched the game this morning, and he's electric, man. I really hope he's coming back. I was really happy to see Quinn. Quinn played a good game. Wasn't Superman, but he played a good, solid game. Even the pick that he did have was not his fault. That's DeAndre Moore not keeping the ball in his hands. So I was really impressed by our offense. Ground and pound, Quinn executed. Everything worked well yesterday.
Yeah, I think you look at the offensive line as the bright spot in this game. I feel like we were able to create massive holes to run through, especially being up where I was sitting, getting a bird's eye view of everything. Dude, you could just see those gaps opening like crazy. Offensive line did a great job yesterday. I know we gave up 2 sacks, but both of those sacks were really more coverage sacks than actual, penetration from the front 4. It was just we didn't have anybody open and the pocket collapsed on Quinn. So Quinn did what he needed to do in this game. Like you said, the interception wasn't his fault. Other than that, he really maintained the game and consistently ran. It was a little strange in the third quarter how I kind of feel like we kind of sputtered a little bit offensively, and it does feel like Sark took his foot off the gas. And for some reason, we just stopped running the ball for a little bit on a couple of drives, which was kind of strange because I'm like you said, 10 yards per carry, 7 yards per carry. Why are we not just feeding these guys over and over again? So, defensively wise, it was a good game. They couldn't rush the ball on us whatsoever, but obviously we got gashed through the air a decent amount, so that's going to be a good learning experience for the secondary. But some of those throws that he were making were incredible throws, man.
Yeah.
Just seeing the windows that he was putting those balls in was pretty impressive. So overall, man, you got to be happy with this win. I feel like we were in control the whole game. We let them kind of sneak around a little bit. Obviously, that 4th and goal or 4th and 5, whatever it was down there in the inside the 10. You would have loved to see us make a stand there, but obviously we made the stand a few possessions later on those 2 back-to-back inside the 5s, just stuffed them, which is incredible to see. It really reminded me of that A&M game, just stonewalled them twice again. Mm-hmm. So that was huge for that defense to make that stand at that moment. So overall, man, super fun game to be at. Crowd was rocking. Drone shows were fun. I feel like the production of the game was awesome, man. There was every time out there was something going on the screen, or band playing, mariachi band, or violinist. It was a super fun, entertaining college football game for sure.
There's a lot of people on Twitter that went after the mariachi band's like, oh, this is killing the vibe and everything. And Del Conte shut that up real quick. He goes, I'm sorry, sorry you didn't like it. Don't show up next time.
I thought it was cool.
I thought it was cool. They were right in front where we were standing. They were directly in front of us. Like that next level down is where they were. Well, for the first half.
I saw that on Twitter this morning. People talking about that it wasn't the right atmosphere for the playoffs, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" It was great,
dude. Like this is a production. Like I get the hype thing. Like I understand that a little bit, but I mean, you gotta break it up. Some stuff like you can't just have hype music. You can't be hyped the entire game. Like it's just not possible.
Plus, the playlist that they've been playing isn't really much of a hype playlist anymore.
Yeah, no,
Like Beyonce and Taylor Swift playlist.
HOTTOGO or whatever it is.
Yeah, I saw you on camera dancing to that.
Yeah,
seemed like I had it choreographed.
I was dancing to the Kelly Clarkson Since You've Been Gone. I was trying to get on for that one, but that was the only one. The rest of them,
he actually did. He was pushing people
out.
out.
I was like, excuse me, I'm about to get on TV. That was when we allegedly snuck down to the end zone section and enjoyed the seats down there. There was a Clemson fan that was met a guy in front of us named Reagan on Twitter, and he pointed it out. He's like, this Clemson fan is just going through it right now. And you just look over and he's just by himself, just shaking his head like, this is unbelievable. We're getting our ass whooped.
He kept just sitting there with his arms crossed.
Yeah. He was, yeah. I mean, school assassin type of guy.
Yikes.
I didn't say the whole thing, but yeah.
I mean, he did have that look, but okay. I wasn't going to point it out.
You're talking about the defense, how they got exposed. There's one guy in particular that got exposed quite a bit, was Muhammad. He had 8 targets towards him for 6 receptions on 130 yards. There was a time where they were just repeatedly going right back to him. And now they were throwing dimes to the receivers. Like there was 2 I remember distinctly. I was like, how did he catch that?
Yeah.
So, it's one of those, like, they're just great throws, but Muhammad was targeted quite a bit, and we'll probably see that a little bit more in 10 days from now at the Peach Bowl. That's something. But at the end of the day, like, this is the first team that has had over 3. I believe this is the only team that's had over 300 passing yards against us. I can't think of another team that's had that.
I think that's right.
But overall, I mean, defense going with a hiccup like that, we knew it was going to be kind of a little bit of a shootout. We did a lot of zone to start the game. Like there was just a lot of holes left open, and they just wanted to take away that deep ball. So a lot of that, especially at the beginning, and they just kept driving down the field. And they had that that first touchdown drive, and back in my mind, I went, where's our defense at? And they showed right back up. I mean, it was nice to be able to have a methodical drive for us, that next drive, to keep the defense off field, give them some rest and get moving again. But both of Blue's touchdowns were check downs for Quinn. He checked down that play and changed it at the line of scrimmage, so he was reading that well, and checked both of those for a run for Blue, and ends up resulting in 2 different touchdowns for them. So overall, I mean, again, the offensive line was very good. Overall, I enjoyed Gunnar Helm when he caught the ball, and I gave the first run that he had, I gave the too small. I just didn't care. I mean,
he's out there giving piggyback rides,
just carrying them around, dude. Like took 3 or 4 of them, bring them down. I was like, oh yeah, this is Jason Witten-esque. I enjoy watching Gunnar, man. And he was talking in the press conference because I think someone had a prediction that I'd only have 9 receptions all year, which I don't know who that guy was, but yikes. But
he didn't point
everyone else
out in the crowd.
Yeah, Taff. No, I didn't point anybody out, but someone definitely was there because he was talking basically directly to them. But I enjoyed watching Taff, like sitting back. Like I did a lot of kind of just focusing on certain players, and Taff was running around like a hawk. Like Jahdae Barron got some tackles, but if Jahdae didn't tackle him, Taff was right on top of it. Like watching him play has just been fun to watch, and we just have so many. Broughton came, Burke had a sack. Both those big fellows played really well. Texas is just a team that you could win in any different facet at this point. Like like defense is giving up a little bit of yardage and everything. Here comes the offense. Like we are multifaceted, and that's why we are built to be a championship team. Now there is special teams is going to have to change up a little bit. We haven't had. I remember the last few years. I can't remember the last time it wasn't like I'm expecting a punt block or a block kick. Like in the last few years, it's always just been okay. We're going to get one of these. Like it's always happened, and now this year it's happened a couple times, but not near as what we've had before. And even the kick return, like Bolden just really he makes us have heart attacks, but he really doesn't have that breakout play.
Yeah, we missed DeMar Van Overshown. He was great at those.
Yes,
blocking kicks, man. But dude, Bolden is every single time I see him on the field, it's just like he's gonna do. Like it hasn't worked out terribly for us so far, but every time it's just like, dude, this could really be bad. I don't know what he's doing in practice that keeps creating such confidence in him, but it must be great.
Dude, he was just flying to those balls. He was not letting anything bounce past him. Well, he was determined to get a fair catch on all of those balls. I was like, every time he was going up to it, I was like, oh, God. It stressed me out for sure. Shout out to Colin Simmons for getting that interception. That was pretty cool to see.
Oh, yeah. Who tipped that? I didn't see who tipped that.
Yeah, I didn't see who tipped it either.
Thought it was Broughton. Pretty sure it was Broughton, yeah.
I was just happy to see Bolden fair catching immediately when the ball was kicked. Like that's where I was like, okay, yeah, he's been told like, hey, dude, stop screwing around because I mean the ball's just coming off the foot and he's calling for a fair catch. So that's pretty much what we need to do the rest of the way out here because it's just making me nervous and we're going to get screwed some way or another doing that.
Yeah.
Injury update, by the way, real quick. Sark said that Wisner and Majors both would have been able to play. After their injuries, he said they both, if they needed to go back in, could have gone back in. Also, Cam went in for a play after somehow. So he's going to have an MRI today, this afternoon, but it seems like it's not a major injury. Otherwise, they wouldn't have put him back out there. So,
right.
So it looks like all three of those guys, which that was crazy. It was just back-to-back plays, just injury after injury. It was like, oh boy, please get up. But yeah, it seems like everyone will. I mean, we have 10 days of rest too, so Bond will be back by that point, and then get these guys some rest and get them out there too. So,
yeah, that blindside block on Majors was pretty brutal. Mm-hmm. When he went down, I was nervous because he had his arms down by his hips, and he was just limp on his stomach. I was like, oh crap. You know, that turned out to be a huge penalty for Clemson because you take those points off the board, and then I can't remember off the top of my head if they scored on that drive, but obviously it took some time for them to get into position, anyways. So, but that was a pretty big penalty.
I think that was where they kicked the field goal. I'm not sure.
Yeah, penalties was good too. I mean, I feel like we didn't really have anything too crazy. I think we had 2 penalties, I want to say, on the day. But both of them were, smaller 5-yard penalties. So that was super nice to see. It seems like the refs were really kind of swallowing their whistles most of the game, though. There was a lot of plays where there was kind of some extra stuff going on. I don't know if y'all saw that consistently. It felt like whenever Clemson was on offense that our DBs and their wide receivers were shoving on the sidelines, tangled up towards the end of the plays. They just kept letting it go. So, which is fine. I would rather be that way than be, whistling everything throughout the game. So, but super fun game, man. I had a really good time.
Yeah, I was definitely noticing the chippiness at the beginning of the game. There was a lot of extracurriculars at the beginning. I didn't pay attention to it that much later on, though.
We had to do something with our sound system. It's just, I mean, where we're standing though, like I can see it, but we've got to get surround sound. It's 2024. Like you can run speaker wire over in the off season. Let's get some more speakers in the stadium because having the speakers on the end zone on the one end zone side, it's outdated. Like we've got to create that atmosphere, and it's not going to happen with mono sound on one end of the stadium. So. Gonna have to get that figured out. Overall, though, the game atmosphere was, especially for being a 3:00 game, was really good. I saw Aggies were like, "Oh, 30 minutes before game time, the stadium's not even full." Shut up. We're with our families. Like, go to Vegas and watch your. We'll see how full you get up for that. Whatever that bowl game is. What is that? It's not Tax Slayer.
I thought it was.
Is it the Blue Pill Erection Bowl? Hymns Erection Bowl.
See where it is.
I don't remember which one it was.
The Distribution Las Vegas Bowl.
That's what it was. Yeah, the Warehouse Bowl.
SRS cool. Distribution.
Yeah, good.
It's top tier, man.
That's right. Ship it. I mean, Clemson, honestly, with this game, kind of impressed me. I mean, as bad as you saw flashes of them throughout the year. They had a very rough start to the season, and then kept plugging along, and then all of a sudden got themselves in this situation. I think this is a great practice for us also because Arizona State is also, I mean, Big 12 is also a sling it type of game, and Texas was able to handle that. Like you could tell the first drive was like, okay, it's going to be a gunslinging game. And honestly, we didn't even really gunsling it. We ran the ball down their throat, and that's what ended up winning. This is the first time Texas has ever had two running backs with over 100 yards in a game. Two separate running backs, not running back or QB. They've had multiple players, but they haven't ever had two quarterbacks.
Are you sure about that stat?
Yes. Are you sure about it? Who?
I'd have to pull some research.
Find it.
I mean, I'd be really surprised, like Roshan and Bijan.
And maybe
didn't have playoff each, or back with Jonathan Gray and Bergeron. I'm surprised. Okay.
Hey, dude, prove me wrong.
I will. I'm not saying I will, but I will be. I'm very surprised by that stat.
Twitter's never wrong, so I just want to be clear on that. So now we're going on to Atlanta again. It'll be our home away from home as long as we keep winning. So we will take on Arizona State. We'll do a recap or a preview on that game going forward. We are also going to be doing a disc golf tournament. So we're going to do a disc golf in the morning, and then we'll go watch the game for New Year's Day. So that'll be fun.
Shauna, are you playing?
I'll play.
Yeah. Don't party too hard on New Year's Eve, boys. Okay, we gotta win. That game's at noon.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Peach Bowl's at noon.
Noon game at Peach Bowl. Yeah, that's why we did 8:30. Apologize yesterday for the audio issues for the live. We appreciate everybody that watched, though. It was good. We'll probably end up might as well do a live like right after disc golf or something. We'll figure something out. We'll do somewhere where we can go to Fieldhouse maybe. We'll do a live down at Fieldhouse. That'd be fun.
Sounds like a Benbrook round then.
Yep, that's what it sounds like. Anything else from this game? You guys had takeaway? I mean, overall, I think the game plan was good. I think we adjusted well for what they were bringing us. Klubnik's a good quarterback. I'll tell you that. He was throwing some dimes.
I don't want to say happy, but it was impressive to see Klubnik. I've always him being recruited out of the area, going against Quinn. I was following all that. To actually see him in person, dude, he is pretty good. And some of the passes that he was throwing along the sideline, I was really impressed by. As far as my overall thoughts on our game, I was just happy to see Quinn seem like he seemed comfortable in the game. It didn't seem like the stuff that we've been struggling with for the last 5 games. He seemed comfortable, was executing the way he was supposed to, and that's just what we keep talking about every week of hoping to see him back in that form. So it's good.
Yeah, for sure.
Other games that happened, SMU gets demolished by Penn State. Lane Kiffin just comes in and just keeps destroying, you shouldn't let these guys in. And then here comes the Ohio State-Tennessee game, and he even puts on Twitter, "Let's go Vols." And then he shut up for the rest of the night because the Vols did not show up. They got mollywopped by Ohio State, which is crazy. How does that team that was there last night playing get beat by Michigan? What in the – and – let's also talk about the fact that how are you going to put in a bill that would make it a felony to plant a flag Yet you are on the field, on their sideline, intimidating them and talking trash to them. Like it is, the stands are here. Tennessee is walking here, and right on the field where the sideline is Ohio State lying down, and you see Tennessee walking down, and Ohio State's just chirping them down the line right to the tunnel. Like you can't have it both ways. You want to know why people plant flags on your field? It's because of that trash right there. So I promise you, you will not like it next year when we come next year. As we talked about, we're about to see if Sark really cares about planting the flag on the field, because after that trash, no, you're not doing that. No.
I didn't see that after the game. I saw them what was that lineman that was on the sideline already lighting a cigar before the game was over?
Oh no, this was pregame.
Okay.
This was pregame. They were literally on top of them, like basically like making them walk a line and just talking trash to them the whole way out. It's like,
Really?
no, you can't have it both ways. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ohio State will go on. They win 42-17. They will move on to play Oregon. That's going to be a
dude. Did y'all watch much of the Ohio State Tennessee game?
Yeah,
it was so frustrating to watch Iamaleava throw passes and hit everybody in the hands, and it bounced off like a freaking pinball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like every single pass, I'm like, oh shoot, he's got somebody, and he throws it, and then just bang right off the hands multiple times. Holy crap! How can this keep happening? Ugh.
I mean, Texas had a little bit of that yesterday too. DeAndre
Matthew Golden.
Yep. I thought for sure Golden was going to have a 100-yard day yesterday. I was excited to see Blues 24.5 yards. I was like, cool, I'll bet on that. Didn't realize. I don't think even he would have realized that he would almost rush for 150 yards. It was like, what, 147? Like, what a day for both of those boys. So the matchups will be Georgia. Let's see, what time? So the first game will be New Year's Eve, Boise State, Penn State. That's going to be at 6:30 on New Year's Eve, the Fiesta Bowl. And then we will kick off New Year's Day against Arizona State. The next game will be Ohio State and Oregon for the Rose Bowl. And then Georgia and Notre Dame will be the night game. So Georgia's favored by 1.5. Penn State is favored by 10.5 points. Ohio State is favored by 2.5, and Texas is now favored by 14. It started at 13.5 and has already moved up to 14.
That's crazy.
That is wild. I'm interested to watch that the game after ours. Like that's going to be an important game to watch because I'm hoping they just beat each other up so bad that they're just not able to play the next week. Like that's just that's what I'm hoping for.
We'll take an easy path.
Yep. It'll be if we win that game, the 10th. It'll be a Friday. Is that a Friday? The 10th?
That is a Friday.
Yep. So we'll play at 6:30 in Dallas if we win that game. So Dallas, Atlanta is now the goal.
We're going to Dallas, right?
Yeah, we'll be going to Dallas. We will figure it out.
TJ, did you not get the black and white memo today?
Oh, that's my bad, dude. No, I did not. No. I don't. Yeah, nope. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. So, let's see what else. Anything else around football? I'm tired of everybody crying. I really am. Like the Alabama fans,
these Twitter peeps.
Alabama fans are just. Well, you see, this is why you shouldn't have like the best teams aren't on the field. Shut up. Like you guys can't cry. And Brandon Walker, of all people, Brandon Walker, just so you guys know, now has said the top three teams, the top three best teams in the playoffs right now are all in the Big Ten. Bro, go listen to yourself 2 weeks ago. Go listen to yourself 4 weeks ago when you're like, oh, yeah, Texas is good. Texas is good. Now it's Texas hadn't played anybody. Texas doesn't deserve to be there. Like, hey, Brandon, how about you pick one? All right.
Yeah, they reversed course so hard on Texas. They kept talking about them being the best team in the country, and now they're just crap all over us every week.
I mean, don't forget, Walker, you were wearing a Texas jersey on the second week of the season. So being a Michigan hater, it's just one of those, like, I don't understand. Like, I understand what he's saying with the schedule and everything, but it literally doesn't make any sense what he's saying. Like, Texas is still a good football team. You can't help who you played. And I know he has said that before, but pick one. It's either they can't help who they play or they're trash. And Texas is just not trash. Like, there's just no way around it. And to say that Penn State is a better football team is crazy based off of what you've seen both teams play.
Yeah.
And Ohio State, I mean, losing to Michigan. Texas lost to Georgia twice. That's it. So make up your mind here. I just can't. It's just unbelievable. Lane Kiffin crying is just fantastic. Like, cry, Lane. Cry.
He can keep going, man. I think they find it pure entertainment.
Guys just living out the Christmas story. He's that little redheaded bully telling him to cry more, and then Ralphie just gets up and just slaughters him and bloodies his nose. That's what. Yeah, put that clip in right now. We got football going on. Jalen Hurts is out, I think. Looks like he went out. Oh, that's a pick. Oh, okay. Just as I say that. Eagles intercepted. All right. Anything else you guys have for this week?
No.
Getting nitty gritty now. Getting nitty gritty.
Yeah, just keep winning, man. Just got to keep winning. Yep. That was a solid game. It was a nice change of pace to see the offense kind of carry the way. When the last 3 to 4 weeks, it's been the defense keeping us in the games, but offense did a great job yesterday responding. I feel like every time that we needed something, we needed to move the ball, I feel like they responded and did it. So that was nice to kind of see a little trade off there, because I do believe our defense locked back in against Arizona State, especially with them being having a freshman quarterback and having a running back. Obviously that's a pretty good running back, but I like our chances versus a running team over, a team kind of like Clemson. So it was fun, man. This is it's been a super fun season, and we're just keep going with it, man. Getting a home game on December 21st was super cool experience for sure.
Oh yeah.
Perfect freaking weather.
I do have one update I forgot about. Last night we were talking to some people about Bevo, and we asked the question, so is Bevo going next or for New Year's? This person said, I don't know. We're hopeful, but also doubtful. And we asked what happened about the SEC championship, and he said everybody was on board for the SEC. It's the college football playoffs that is putting their foot in there and saying, no, this isn't going to happen. Del Conte and Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, are in meeting rooms saying, we want this to happen. Arthur Blank, the owner of the stadium, is saying, we want Bevo in the stadium. And the college football playoff committee is saying, no. Why?
Yeah, why?
What are we doing there, bud? Like, I don't think so. So, I'll send. So we got to get PETA to show up to the college football. They won't show up for that. We got to figure out somebody else. We got to get a protest going on here at the college football playoff headquarters, wherever that might be. Actually, it's in Dallas. I'm pretty sure.
I think PETA would be against us.
Yeah, well, but no, they hate. No, that's not true, because they hate cows now. Like, the college football playoff committee just hates cows. So they hate animals. So no, that's just what I heard. They eat steaks. Medium rare. Actually, they probably eat steaks well done. So that's even worse.
Making me hungry.
Yeah, dude. Actually,
I looked at that stadium too. I was like, because their argument was obviously there's space constraint, right? Dude, you look at that stadium.
Oh, the people we were talking to, they said it's not even close. There's just room everywhere.
I looked at it and I was like, dude, it's not like Bevo takes up more than his pen's 20 by 20 maybe, even if that big. And I was looking at the kind of the overhead of that stadium. I'm like, all right, dude, you can't use that argument because there's obviously plenty of room.
Yeah.
Well, we got to the bottom of it. It is the college football playoff committee that is screwing us right now. So, yeah. And I mean, that could happen for the Cotton Bowl too. Now that we know that.
Yeah.
That's if they say no this week in this game and we win, and they say no to the Cotton Bowl, we know exactly what's up. And it's
I
going to be
mean, it
pretty
makes it
good
a
for
lot
him.
harder for their argument when he's already been to the Cotton
Both of
Bowl.
them. He's been to
Right.
both.
Has he been to Atlanta before?
Yeah, he's the one that went after Uga.
That was a
It's
Super
when-
Bowl.
That was New Orleans.
Oh, was that? Oh, that was New Orleans.
Yeah.
They're both Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Oh, that's why it was confusing. Okay, that was correct. Dang it.
Did y'all see when they brought Bebo into the game? Dude, he was being kind of stubborn. Like, I don't know if you saw the handler was like full weight
Yes.
pulling him, and he was just like pulling his weight to the opposite side. Like, no, I'm gonna go this way.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun. I was like, dude, look at this dude being stubborn, trying to get to his pin.
We asked the question if they sedate him. They said no, we actually don't at all. Which he was.
Interesting.
We saw him up close and personal at the end of the game, and he was drooly. Like he was just slobbering everywhere. But no, he was really calm and cool down there. I don't know how he is a massive animal. Like it is unbelievable. Like when you are up close to him, it's like, oh my. It's like 5 of me easily.
His
And I'm a
back
big
hips
boy.
are like right at eye level, the top of the back of his hips.
Yeah,
awesome.
Big old
he
freaking
is
cow, man.
quite a big boy. So, all right, you guys got anything else?
Good, man.
So
Be there Arizona State.
10 days.
Arizona State in 10 days. We'll come on at some point. We'll let you know whether or not we do it live or if we come on here. We will preview the show, and we will go back-to-back Big 12 champs in 10 days. So until then, boys, hook 'em horns.
Okay.
Welcome.